Okay, so here's the deal. May 31st, 2024. Again, May 31st, 2024, not that long ago. Letter from the SSA Inspector General Gail S. Ennis to the President of the United States. It was her resignation letter. It was a big deal. It was not short. It was long. And the reason why is that when a commissioner, when a deputy commissioner, when the Inspector General leaves, retires, because it's a high up position, they usually retire at that point. When that happens, they like to look back and say, what did I achieve during my time at the SSA? Now remember, this is, I believe, of the really high positions, this is the last Trump holdover, other than like chief judges and stuff like that. But this is the last holdover, basically from the Trump era. Let's read through it, and then we need to ask ourselves, because we don't know yet, and they haven't picked one, who is likely to become the next Inspector General, who is charged with the duty of reviewing the SSA and the recipients, which means they're also in charge of the SSA's secret police that investigates the disabled, the retired, and all the other program recipients. This is the letter from the SSA inspector. Here we go. May 31st, 2024. Dear Mr. President, I write to inform you of my retirement from the position of Inspector General for the Social Security Administration effective June 29th, 2024. Now, just to make things clear, it is June 14th today. June 29th, 2024 is in the future. So you still got a couple weeks here. You're still going to see this person releasing information. Okay. It has been my great honor to serve as Inspector General, and I'm proud of what the Social Security Administration Office of the Inspector General has accomplished under my leadership. Sorry, I'm getting ready to sneeze. I'm okay. As a partner of the law firm Wilmer Hale, I was surrounded by lawyers who had served in the federal government, some more than once. I was inspired by their service and wanted to give back in the same way when my life and career permitted. Because remember, when you work for the SSA, you don't make a lot. You just don't make much. I was inspired by their service and wanted to give back in the same way when my life and career permitted. I was deeply honored to be nominated and confirmed to be the Inspector General for the SSA. This agency held particular importance to me, as I believed I could make an impact that would help some of the most vulnerable individuals in our country. Good sentence. My goal was to use my private sector experience to help modernize SSA OIG to be more agile, to think bigger, and to become leaders. I believe during my tenure, we achieved these goals. One thing you'll notice with the executives is that their write-up letters, they all follow a classic, system. Usually within the first paragraph or the second, usually the first paragraph is usually like the intro, and just boom, here's the news. Second paragraph is, we set out to do this, we achieved it, mission accomplished. Cool. Now we go to the next one. Over the past 5 years, because she worked for 5 years in the position, a holdover from the Trump era. Thanks to the creativity and hard work of our employees, SSA OIG, Office of Inspector General, has innovated and led in areas of emerging threats, such as imposter scams and artificial intelligence. Now, as I read this, I just want to point a couple of things out. Number one, there was a lot of crap news about her, but she did innovate massively in a group that was way behind the times. She also was a hard worker. Like that, the reports of that coming out where she was working really late, doing big stuff, taking a lot of crap from politicians. She did a lot of great stuff. So to be fair, like at the end of the day, her legacy was marred a bit by Democrat politicians who went after her because there was a whistleblower or two whistleblowers and a shuffle back and forth as to, did she discriminate against those whistleblowers for whistleblowing? And some of the things that she sent to some of the congressional leaders for letters that I saw were like, well, we don't report to you on this, or we don't report to you on that. That was, I think, a misstep. Was she a very good leader? Yes. Were there just some very singular items that went to hell in a handshake? Yes. Did the politicians of the government and some of the nonprofits in DC take those and blow them into a massive scale thing, yeah, absolutely. That's what they do. They make headlines. Is her accomplishment overall greater than the sum of those issues? Yes. But the pressure was on and she's retiring. That's where it's at. Okay. All right. So SSA OIG has innovated and led in areas of emerging threats such as imposter scams and artificial intelligence. We have also partnered with SSA to accomplish shared anti-fraud goals in a number of key areas. We invested in our workforce by strengthening programs for employee engagement and development. That's true. They had more people getting hired on. They had more people who were able to, split up their hours, and it was becoming a better work environment where people with real lives are more likely to do the jobs. So that's a good thing. Early in my tenure, we saw the rise of federal government imposter scams and recognized the need to act swiftly and comprehensively to respond. SSA OIG developed a multidisciplinary approach to combating and preventing imposter scams that include education and outreach, civil enforcement, and criminal investigations. Although one thing that was my idea, which they never did, I'm just going to put it out there. So there's still time. She hasn't left the office yet. Still time is that when an overpayment occurs, if you allow them to take courses that teach them about overpayments or the SSA system in general, that you forgive a certain amount of that overpayment. This is a good idea. It's a good. This is just do it. Just do it. Do it. Just do it. Okay, here we go. National Slam the Scam Day. All right. Again, they show a phone that they've cracked. Not the greatest advertisement. The brainchild of SSA OIG. Like, remember that time they did the advertisement video and one of their employees had pictures of their family members in the background? I'm like, you don't. What are you doing? What are you doing? So anyway, but here we go. All right. National Slam Scam Day, the brainchild of SSA OIG, has now been held each of the past 5 years and represents government at its best. Collaborations across government and with private sector to protect the public from scammers seeking to steal their money and personal information. SSA OIG also established a new division, the Major Case Unit, to investigate these and other complex fraud schemes, which is true. That's so COVID, lots of fraudsies, SSA benefits, specifically retirement, because they caught two mega fish. One was like $150,000, one was like $200,000 this month alone, who are abusing Social Security benefits. And the big ones that you usually see that like are big money, it's where a parent is getting a retirement check. The parent passes away. The kid doesn't tell anybody. They catch on because the parent's not using their Medicare, and boop, big money problem. Gisela P., thank you for the $4.99 donation. Absolutely awesome. Thank you. Very cool. So absolutely, I try to give you guys cool, different stuff. Other channels that keep it on like one thing. I try to give you like the whole spectrum of what's going on with the SSA. Now, the brainchild. Okay, so here we go. SSA OIG has also become a leader in understanding artificial intelligence, which I did a warning video on for you guys. They started in 2023. They're ramping up in 2024. 2025, they're going to have that stuff down. And responding to the potential threat it represents to the public. And that's cute, but they're also using it to create a threat to your benefits of the public, of those who are recipients. We created an AI task force and are collaborating with the SSA on AI initiatives because we are at the forefront in the field. The Office of Management and Budget, OMB, has asked the SSA OIG present on AI at events open to the entire federal government, which is good. Honestly, that was one of the smartest things to do, because fraud with the SSA, when it comes to more complex scams where artificial intelligence is used to like recreate fake people, get inside the computer system and mass create fake people and have checks to, sent to them. It is an industry where you're likely to see massive fraud, like Department of, Defense, SSA, these particular types of groups, you're going to see fraud, especially from artificial intelligence. Now, in 2021, OMB issued guidance on OIG agency collaboration that called for more cooperation and engagement. Several collaborative initiatives we developed are directly in line with OMB's guidance, including the National Anti-Fraud Committee, a partnership with SSA that supports cooperating and proactively working to identify and advance strategies for combating fraud. We continue to successfully collaborate with SSA and state disability service organizations, DDS, in the Cooperative Disability Investigation CDI program, which you guys all know is the secret police that investigate you to see if they should, make a report that ultimately is used to adjudicate whether or not you should lose your benefits. The CDI units. The CDI program focuses on reviewing and identifying disability fraud before benefits are paid, and also once they're paid. It is one of the SSA and OIG's most successful anti-fraud initiatives and a bipartisan congressional priority. Congress heavy funded it. In 2021, we established a hub model to provide CDI coverage to more than one state from a single CDI unit, which permitted us to meet, this is with a Congress rule, congressional mandate from the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2015 to provide coverage in all 50 states and U.S. territories while also achieving cost savings. So remember, the whole gig was they had one CDI unit, which wasn't always in the capital of the state, but then they couldn't get a CDI unit in every single state. So like, all right, we're going to create hubs. We're going to create little offices, little baby units called hubs. And that's how they were able to meet all the requirements for being in each state. While we sometimes may not think of an audit function as agile under my leadership, our auditors have gone from a once-a-year audit planning to continuous audit planning, which permits us to adapt our priorities and focus on the most emergent issues facing the agency. I also built a stronger information technology IT component with the SSA OIG to better adapt and respond to changing needs of the organization. With the new IT component, we were able to successfully develop and implement a new case management system on time and on budget. A long-standing priority for the organization, we also invested in our cybersecurity capabilities, which is basically making sure people don't get into their systems. SSA OIG's employees are the organization's most valuable asset. And in response, I would say the claimants, the recipients are the most valuable assets, because without them, there would be no purpose. But again, we'll go with what she says. SSA OIG's employees are the organization's most valuable asset. And in response to feedback from the workforce, we focused on improving engagement and professional development programs. We established SSA OIG's first ever full-time organizational health director position to serve as a liaison between the workforce and leadership. We also established new programs to improve opportunities for professional development for all employees. And one such example of professional development program, which includes a panel comprised of senior leaders, evaluates and approves requests for leadership training organization-wide, thereby permitting more consistency and fairness in how those opportunities are awarded. As I retire, I look forward to the next stage of my life. Probably beaches, mountains, stuff like that. But I also reflect back on my tenure as Inspector General. I'm proud of the SSA OIG team and the progress we accomplished together. I believe I am leaving the organization in a much stronger position to continue the important work it performs to serve the American people. Sincerely, Gail S. Ennis, Inspector General. So remember, June 29th, 2 weeks from now, she will officially retire. Now, that was very well done. That was very well written. That was good. She did not mention any of the things that she was getting crap for, which is strategic. Now, who is going to replace this person? Some of you will say, well, who cares? We don't know. We're never going to know until they announce it. That's true to some degree. But they are working on it, because the moment they got this, the White House immediately started going through their lists of who would replace her. They are going to focus on minority-backed individuals. They are going to focus on individuals that have political priority that are linear with the expectations of what Biden wants to do in the current first year and future first term and second term election cycle for his presidency. So we will be seeing somebody who is probably a minority that is very similar to Commissioner Martin O'Malley. That's what we'll likely see. Will this person come from the program? Maybe. It'll probably be a politician who wants to prove something. Because remember, Commissioner Martin O'Malley, it's rare that you guys get so lucky to have somebody who views the SSA as his ticket to the future presidential role. That's rare. The SSA is not usually the ticket to be punched to get to the role of president. So they'll probably find somebody who is in line with that. As for minority base, who knows? Who knows? Could be a Pacific Islander type individual, could be a Native American, could be an African American, whatever, could be. My belief is that in the future, when it comes to OIG, Biden is trying to reduce the negativity that the SSA has when people get investigated. Now, a lot of people get investigated, but they don't even know they're being investigated. I think there will be more of that. They'll get farther down the line before the person is ever notified. I think that also they will try to promote more why these investigations are so necessary. A lot of you don't know where to find where there was somebody who stole $200,000 from the SSA, $150,000 from the SSA. A lot of you don't know where to look to find that, which it's on the OIG website. So I think they're going to push to have somebody who's doing more of like what Commissioner Martin O'Malley is doing and pushing more of Twitter, pushing more of YouTube, pushing more of these different, get it out there, establish the news, tell people what's going on, give them direction, all that kinds of stuff. With that said, the next video, I will be going live to answer questions, Social Security disability questions. Please remember to like, please remember to subscribe, please remember to go to Google, Disability Resolution Law Firm, and leave some stars. Throw them up there. Also, with the next video when I go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Use a fake name when you call in. Very simple. Don't go into story mode. Have your legal question ready, and you get 5 to 7 minutes-ish. Now, if you need more, you can go below, and you can hire me basically for an hour. I don't represent you at the SSA, but you get to access the information in my brain, and I tell you what you need to do to fix something. Okay? I will catch you a little bit later, and we'll go from there. Have a wonderful night, and I will see you in 10-ish minutes, and we'll begin the live session. I know it's 2 a.m., but I got to do it. It's Thursday. I'll catch you a little bit. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.